This is Overtime, a weekly moment of off-the-cuff commentary on everything from sports and politics to observations about everyday life from NFL All-Pro Carl Lee. Welcome to Overtime.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Carl Lee, and I'm your host of Let's Talk. And today we are at our overtime session that's going to probably run a little bit longer, but I want to make sure that I give out this information. If you want to contact us about this particular show, and we think it's going to be something that you're going to have an opinion on, you can reach out to us at letstalkcarlee@gmail.com, letstalkcarlee@gmail.com, or you can text 409-422-7539, 409-422-7539. Today, there was information that came out about an issue or issues surrounding the transfer, specifically at Hurricane. The interesting component about this to me, and let me just say this, on my overtime, typically I usually will do it by myself. Every now and then I want to bring some other people in just because of an opinion or whatever. My co-host Hollis Lewis from Let's Talk, he's here. It looks like Woody Wood is going to join us as soon as he can get here. So we're going to have some voices, some different opinions on this subject. And I know everybody's seen the news clip, read the newspaper articles about what's happening in Hurricane.
And all over the county regarding the violation of transfer rules.
Yes, we now know that there's investigations going on with other programs, and there currently, I think, was five schools that were.
I know locally, Nitro and Winfield.
Nitro and Winfield. Yeah. And the interesting component to me was that Hurricane did not get mentioned.
Maybe there's
But I'd make the case that there are investigations going on currently. I would have to make the case, if not now,
it's probably coming.
It's coming.
Yeah.
Because what I had thought was going to happen is happening. No matter what anybody says today in this segment, I am going to buy this reality. Okay? Mm-hmm. Because sports is not a guarantee to a pathway to college,
it's not?
It is not
okay.
a guaranteed path to college. Mm-hmm. It is not a guaranteed path to the NFL.
Okay.
And so what high school sports is to me, and I'm going to even argue the fact, because I don't know where Woody's going to stand on this, but I'm going to argue the fact. If you have the ability to get to Sunday and you're looking back at what college was and what high school was, you have a specific opinion on what it was. Mm-hmm. It was growth. Yeah. It was community supported. It was community bound. It was the guys and people that you grew up with in your neighborhood. It was all about that celebration, that guy, your buddy, your girlfriend, sitting in the stands watching you play. Mm-hmm. That was everything. Now, you could go sit in the bleachers, and you may not know a host of people. How do you take Hollis? How do you take my position at safety at South Charleston, because I'm not better than a kid who transfers from Capital or South Hills, whomever, right? How do you how are you comfortable as the coach in taking my position? Because I was starting until this guy came. Mm-hmm. How do you take my position and be okay with that?
All right, so I think before I answer that, and I'm going to answer that, let me lay it out. We have to lay out what's going on.
Okay.
Well, not my side. I'm just saying lay out.
Okay, you're gonna lay it out. Okay.
As far as what's going on, what's being happening, and again, I was
going to go into that in a bit. I was going to touch all that in a minute, but I was just setting the conversation, just the conversation itself.
We'll do that.
Itself.
So I think what happens is that, again, I think just as you articulated about community and school and different things of that nature, I don't think we're there anymore. So I think what happens is that the comfortability of a coach or a coaching staff in that replacing a guy who had been there, who's been loyal to the program, who's been part of the community, is that they're not looking at it as a community thing. What high school sports have become and what they are evolving to is almost like collegiate sports, in that we're looking at who is the best guy for the position, regardless of where he came from, regardless of how long he's been here, and what's going to get us to, playoffs, championships, wherever you aspire to be. So I think the nature of high school sports is evolved, and not only has it evolved, it's changed. So I think that's where we're at.
Okay. If that's the case, okay? That's the case, then why do we have a situation in Hurricane? Okay. Why do we have a situation in Hurricane where, and here's the interesting piece to me about the situation in Hurricane, and most people have probably read it, seen the news report about it.
So hold on, and just to lay it out. So there was a Facebook post by a mother of a student who was complaining that the coaching staff had essentially, and you're saying it's been another news story as well?
Well, no, not necessarily. I'm going to make the case. Let me say something about the jersey. Okay. If you decide to quit, if you start talking about quitting, and you give that number up, that's not your number.
Well, we have to remember the context.
But again, and Woody Wood has joined us on the set as well.
What's up, guys?
So, first of all, you come in. Okay, so I transfer into your school, Woody. I transfer into your school. I'm taking, and I'm going to put you in front of Hollis because you're a better guy than Hollis at the quarterback position. And then the following year, I'll find somebody that's better than you. Okay? So I'm going to bring him in, and you get mad, you quit, you going to give up your number because you quit.
Right.
So somebody else on the team decides they want that number. Yeah, I'm going to give them that number. But my question is, if you come in and take Hollis's position, you transfer out of your community into this community, take Hollis's position, and then how do you have the audacity to be upset when I bring in another quarterback who's even better than you? What are you complaining about? How does that work?
Coach, I think that quarterback took them to the semifinals.
That's what I'm saying. Here's what I'm saying.
You asking me as a parent. You asking me as a parent to say, because I think this guy is going to take us to the championship, that my kid is no longer going to play. You think that's going to sell? You think that's going to sell? That's not going to sell.
It's not. When that first happened, because I know both kids. One of the kids, the kid that transferred in, he came from Capital. He went to a school in Ohio or something, or Kentucky, then he went to Hurricane. I knew it was going to be a problem because the kid that came from GW to go to Hurricane went there to start, and he was a starting quarterback.
Yeah.
Took us to the semifinals.
Yes.
So I thought the kid was going to transfer. I really thought the old quarterback was going to transfer out, which he allegedly was.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think,
but I think, and again, and I want to just put this out here. That mother who posted that was totally out of line.
Oh, 100%.
She's out of line again. And I don't know her, but I would say she's out of line. If your problem is with the coach, your problem with the coach. There's no reason to mention that kid in that post or even allude to him. However, I say this: the kid, I understand his frustration because he feel like I haven't got beat out on the field, and in addition, you don't know what promises were made to that kid because him and the coach, they came together.
100%.
So they came to that situation. They both transferred and went there together.
Well, the interesting thing I agree. If you're going to be out of her point of being out of line, okay?
Right.
But I'm a mom. If I'm a mom, I'm going to get out of line. Because I'm going to get out of line. Because what you're doing is, again, you bring somebody, you cannot, Hollis, now we can make this case. Is this shady? Is this shady? Is this bad coaching? If you bring me in to take Woody's position, I come in, I take Woody's position. We don't quite get as far as what we wanted.
Yeah.
And you then turn around and bring another person in to take my job. So you don't care at all about the community.
Not at all.
You don't care anything about that school. Your loyalty is not to that school. That loyalty is to your W's.
Yeah.
And to me, all the things that the mom said, when you get mad, you say things that you might want to take back. Mm-hmm. Okay? But the original quarterback who came in from South Hills, the dad, when he gets there and all of a sudden he finds out that they're bringing in another quarterback, he makes a comment about, oh, now I understand what South Charleston's talking about.
Right.
Oh, yeah, because it's happening to you now.
Right.
You know, and now you're going to try to quit. You're going to try to quit and go somewhere else. And you want to, and this number thing, you know how valuable a number is once you get it. Yeah. Once you get a number, like, man, when I looked at 39, I was like, that's the ugliest number I think I've ever had. Yeah. Today,
you made it. Yeah.
I went to high school. I wanted 22. Steve Miller had it. I wasn't going to get it. It wasn't going to happen.
Right.
I went to Marshall. I wanted 22. Darnell Richardson had it. I wasn't getting it. Mm-hmm. You have to earn it. And the moment that you say, I quit, that's no longer your number.
Here's the scary thing about that post.
The mom's post?
Yeah, the mom's post. The guy is talk in the community. She just didn't do that just out of anger. It's some talk in the community that I think that it's not going to end well. We're talking about a jersey number, which is a big thing. Mm-hmm. Now, let's get into playing time during the game, right? When the daddy stands up and say, hey, Coach Mays, why the hell my son not playing this? Tell them kids to go back to their neighborhood. And now I'm the dad of the kid that he's talking about. Now, we cheering for the same kids, but I think it's going to be a fine line in them stands when it comes to the transfer kids that come in and the kids that been with Hurricane since the 5th grade or the 3rd grade.
And to that point, I wrote an article in June that talked about having a transfer plan. And the fact of the matter is that if you are a parent and you're taking your kid outside of your community and putting them in another community, particularly a community that's way different. Hurricane, South Charleston are totally different communities.
Yep.
So when you're going way up there, you're taking your kid outside the community, you have to have a transfer plan. You have to, as a parent, you have to cover all this stuff. When I went from Charleston to GW, back in the day, my dad had a whole plan for me, and we talked about everything. And we talked probably the least about sports. We talked about the socialization, the life, and everything that was going to transpire, and everything that he taught.
Well, let me just put it out there like this, okay? Mm-hmm. I have lived in Hurricane for a long time. Okay? And I think what we all know to be true is it does not necessarily look a lot like us.
Facts.
Okay? That's just a fact.
Are you the only black in your neighborhood? Because I've been out there. You got a nice neighborhood,
No.
Coach. Okay.
No.
You got big houses out there, bro.
I am ignoring that. All right. So I think what you have to understand is, like, how do you transition into a place as a black athlete? Because there's a conversation a year or so ago about a game that supposedly that Hurricane was playing. They were playing against the team, and they were using the N-word. Okay? Now, I'm not accusing. I'm just making the case that was a situation
was talked about.
Yeah. And I'm not saying that black kids shouldn't go to Hurricane. Black kids shouldn't go to Winfield. They shouldn't go to different places, that typically do not have a host of black athletes. But if I'm the coach, I have to understand that. I'm not going to go out and recruit a kid that could be in an uncomfortable situation just to win a football game.
But that's not where that coach is at. And again, I've been around him, and I think he knows he's a really good football. I'm just talking about X's old football coach.
I think he's a great coach.
He knows what he's doing.
I think he's a great coach, but that does not mean anything to me.
But what I'm saying though is that I don't think that that's where his mind is.
But that's your job.
But I don't think that's what he's thinking.
Woody, am I gonna if you contact me and you say, hey, I'm doing something in such and such place, a Spanish place,
right,
and you can speak Spanish,
right?
And I'm like, well, Woody, I don't really.
That's a little far off.
I don't really think it's. I don't really think so.
Because I don't think that's what he's thinking about.
No, he's thinking about winning. He's thinking about winning.
I'm not defending him. I'm just saying
I think it's winning, and I'm not even blaming him. I'm not blaming him. I think where the transfer thing is, it's about winning. It is about taking kids, no matter who they are, what they are, you're taking them to win. You want to win a championship. You don't care about the community. You don't care about the neighborhoods. You don't care about the kid who's been playing there all his life. There's no way you're going to start at G-Dub for 2 years. And then you're going into your senior year, and they're going to bring Woody in from Huntington, and they're going to move you out of your position, and your folks are going to be okay with that.
100%. 100%.
At the core of it, that's it. I don't care if you want to call it how much ever racial that you want to call it, whatever you want to do.
I don't care.
No, I'm just saying. Yeah. I don't care what you want to call it. My thing is from the sport piece of it. I earned my job at South Charleston. I'm not losing my job to somebody from Cap. I'm not losing my job from somebody from Huntington. That's not how it's supposed to be. Woody in my neighborhood has to beat me out. And whether or not we win or lose, Woody's got to beat me out right there on the field where everybody can see.
We're not there no more. And that's what I'm trying to articulate.
I get it. Okay, so then the better question is...
So what I'm saying is that we have to start making adjustments, and we got to start talking about where we are at.
Okay, let me ask you this. Fair or not, right?
Okay.
Is this fair or not? Is this situation right now? So you're saying that...
Well, and we got to be specific. Okay. Because there's a lot of situation going on.
So what the lady posted, she posted this. She said... Not one player from Hurricane is starting this year at Hurricane.
I don't think it's that drastic.
That's what she said.
I do. I get it.
Yeah.
But even
maybe she needs skill positions.
But again, she has a point. These kids are from Hurricane.
But what you do though? What do you do? What do you say? Well, I got to start. So now you get into politics. So now that creates a different situation.
So as a head coach of a high school, and what do you tell your kids that's playing your midget league in middle school? How do you encourage them and say, "Come up and play for me"?
Such a valid point.
How do you encourage them when they never know when a Capital player gonna come in and take their position? They've been playing for this community for 12 to 13 years,
and at any given time, somebody can come in.
Okay,
I couldn't wait to get to South Charleston High School.
But what I'm saying is that I understand what y'all. I get that point, and I'm
You're
not
just
even
trying to say that it's gone.
I'm just saying it's gone. So what I'm trying to
But
what I'm trying to articulate. Okay, it may right or wrong, but I'm saying this is where we're at. So I'm saying what do we do in this situation? Because you cannot say to Coach Mays down there, you can't say, well, the parent group can't say, well, okay, we understand. Let's make a plea. Let's make a bargain. Okay, we got 22 positions. We got 22 outsiders. At least let us get 5. You can't do that.
No.
So if we here,
I'm gonna make the case you don't get any. I don't think unless you truly move. And you're not. Nobody's moving to Hurricane. Nobody's leaving Charleston and going to Hurricane for any specific reason other than sports.
Facts.
I agree with that.
And so let's don't act like the way that we address it. It's the coach. I'm sorry. It is the coach. The coach controls the dynamics of what this program is going to look like. I said when I left high school, when I left South Charleston High School coaching, I am not recruiting a high school athlete to come to my school. I had several athletes and dads come talk to me about transferring. I ain't giving nothing. Thank you. If he wants to come here, has he done all his paperwork? That's it. I ain't promising you nothing. You're not starting. I'm not giving none of that. I couldn't do it because I know what, as a senior in high school, I getting recruited into college. Mm-hmm. That ain't what's happening in high school.
It is. No,
it is not. School. No, it isn't.
People are getting recruited.
They are getting recruited, but you know who they're getting recruited for? The coach.
The coach all day, 100%.
And it's not even worth that. 100%. It's not worth that.
To them, it might be.
No, because you think that's going to make a difference in you going to college.
Yes, it might.
It don't.
It might. Yes,
it doesn't. I know.
I would say this. I would say that it does, man. You can't say that. I can give you an example. I
am the example.
No, but what I'm saying is I'll give you another one who played your position. He played cornerback. He was at Capital. He was on the JV in 11th grade. He transferred to South Charleston. I don't know what happened, coaching, whatever. He turned into the best cornerback in the state. He got a PWO from WVU. If he was at Capital, that don't happen. So what I'm saying is that we cannot act. We can't act like going from one school to another may not make a difference. I ain't saying for everybody, but it may make a difference for some people. We got a kid right now in Huntington. He wouldn't have been Player of the Year at South Charleston. He wouldn't have been. He wouldn't because he wouldn't have had the athletes around him. Not him.
No question, he would have.
No, as a black
Harris.
Wayne Harris
had nobody throwing the ball. Who gonna throw in the ball?
Right, he don't even need that.
Listen,
he don't even need that.
Wayne make other people better. Other people would have came and said, "I want to throw the ball to Wayne." Wayne, it's some athletes out there that's just gonna make people better.
I understand that.
You can be. I promise you. Look, and I hate to keep going to this place, but this is the reality.
We've been here for a long time.
Yeah, I am that example. I am Wayne staying at South Charleston because I stayed at Marshall.
No.
Yes.
No.
Talent is talent, man.
I believe
when you look at Wayne, look at Wayne Harris. Wayne Harris could be on any team.
Facts. He's tremendous.
And he is going to show out. It doesn't matter if
he's not. It doesn't matter
whether he's a receiver, whether he's a receiver, whether he's a defensive back. Whether he's a kick returner, it don't make any difference. Somebody's already talking about Wayne Harris.
What I'm saying is that I played under a not so great lines, and you're limited. So what I'm saying in that position is a wide receiver, quarterback. We got to have pieces around us to make it happen.
Do you know how many players, individual players, have come through the system? That's come through the system. With a bad team, bad quarterback, blah, 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 all of that, and had success.
Here's a question about, Wayne Harris was on South Charleston team as a sophomore. They went 3-8 or 4-8, whatever it might be. Yeah. And he was getting recruited anyways. He was going to be.
He was being recruited before he even got to.
No.
Before he got there.
Don't mistake what I'm saying. I'm saying he would have got recruited regardless because he's a tremendous ball player. So even
that's all you asked for.
No. I'm saying that the 706.
It's the reality.
See what I'm saying?
Here's the reality to that. All the trophies, all the accolades, they don't always matter.
They don't matter to you.
No. I promise you. I talked to Wayne's dad.
No, I'm just saying.
Because I know this. Wayne deserved a whole lot of more
Yeah,
accolades than he should have got.
He should have been the Kennedy Award winner.
He should have been
clearly because he put that team over the top.
He took that team
clearly.
So that's an accolade he should have had that he didn't get.
Right.
That's just life. That's just some of the things people see stuff different for whatever their reasons are. That he was not the player of the year. That's on them.
Yeah, that's on them.
Okay, that's on them.
He should have got that.
But he should have got it.
Yeah,
There's no
100%.
question. But he didn't get it.
Yeah.
So forget the local accolades as much as what you see.
No, let's not forget that, because that don't mean nothing to you and where you're like I told you last show, your eye was already on the NFL as a small child. What I'm saying, I'm not talking about him specifically. I'm just saying, like, for some people that means something to them.
But
so we can't forget that.
But here's what I don't want to do. I don't want to take this to the individual athlete.
Got you. I
because
understand that.
you know what I'm saying. I don't want us to lose the time on the individual athlete. I'm going on record. I'm going on record.
I want to go on record too now.
Okay, I'm going on record. Okay?
We going on record?
Yeah, we get ready to go on record. Go on record on whatever you want. I am making the case. I am saying. Carl Lee the third is saying to you today.
You the third?
I am the third. Okay, that I blame coaches in the recruitment process. I blame you for your own individual greed. Because if you're willing to deal with the team that you have, deal with it, dude. Deal with it. Win or lose. Win or lose. Win or lose. Deal with it. But if you're too afraid to lose, that you got to get these people from all over the place to make your team better, and you don't care about the kids that you have on your team, you're wrong.
I want to piggyback on that, Coach, and I'm going to go on record and say this.
Okay.
Hurricane won't win the state title this year. They won't. It'll be Huntington or it'll be Martinsburg again. So when that doesn't happen, I'm sorry, that's me. When they don't win the state title, where do we go from here? Does kids transfer back to their home school? Because it's going to be some beef. We
already see it.
Yeah, it's going to be some beef. And if they don't win a state title, they got the best talent in the state, 100%, and they will not win a state title this year.
Okay,
on record.
On record. On record. That's two on record. What you got? What you got?
All right, so I want to go on record.
Okay,
since we're going on record.
We on record.
No, but what I want to say, like I wrote in the article. You as a parent, it is your responsibility to prep your kid if you are prepared to take your kid out of your community. And what I'm saying is, like, I went from Charleston, Horseman, Stonewall, that to across the river to GW. So if you're going to take your kid 15, 20 minutes outside the zone and you're going to take them to a whole new, and again, Hurricane Winfield, you're a resident up there. That's a different community. Putnam County's different, drastically different than Kanawha County. Mm-hmm. So it's your job. It's your job to adequately prepare your kid, not to play football or basketball, whatever they doing up there, to prepare for a life up there. So you got to know what's coming. You got to know that, like you said, Woody, is going to be parents is mad. It's going to be kids is mad. It's going to be people that hate you. They might love you from August to November, but once that season's over, the beef might come up. So it's going to be a different world for you. So you need to prepare your kid to live and to thrive in that sort of community.
Okay, let me just say this. And hear me, parent, okay? It would be like me trying to go in and do Woody's show and do it great. If you don't really know, just changing, just going somewhere, just making a change because you don't want to be in the place. Like, I'm tired of sitting.
That's unfair.
Wait a minute.
That's unfair.
So I don't want to sit at the mic that you're sitting at with Dave Weekly because I need to be bigger. You know, and Woody's got this show that's really, really good. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take and move over to Woody's show just because I want more. Yeah. I want more. No, I can stay with Dave and I can be trained and I can learn more And I can understand more. And then my question is, when you leave, what's your goal?
Okay, but
to your plan. What's your goal?
The goal,
when you go there, what's your goal?
The goal is to be. I think for a lot of them, the goal is to be on a winning team. The goal is to have a better coaching staff. The goal is to be all that I can be. And I think it's unfair. It's unfair for you to. Okay, hold up. It's unfair for you to characterize the parents who are transferring these kids out of their communities into these schools to just do it. They're not doing it just to do it. They're analyzing.
I think they are.
No, I believe it's a small it's a small percentage, but I think some of them are looking around and saying, hey, look, this ain't the best situation. My kid's a football player. That's going to be his success. So I need to put him in the best situation.
You don't know that's going to be the success.
As of now, that's what you know. That's what you know right now. I'm not saying that's going to be forever, but right now you're looking at it like that's going to be this path. That's going to be his stepping stone. I'll say that. So they're looking at the situation and say, hey, I'm at this school. It ain't happening right here. It's just not a good situation. So I'm going to go right here where I think it's better for him. But what about her?
When that kid gets 20 and 22, 25, 30 and adversity hits and they don't know how to handle it.
That's why you come to me and you read my articles, and you can get a consultation from me because I can tell you how to navigate that because I was there with you.
What about the kid that's in 8th grade and never even stepped foot in the high school that he's supposed to or she's supposed to? They don't even know the culture. They don't even know. They just going off what somebody told them. They might not like it up there. Their home school might be the perfect fit for them, but they never ever gave it a chance or a shot.
I got to answer for that because I was that kid. My situation, I went from back then junior high, and I transferred immediately outside of my district. We are discounting the fact that parents know their kids. So I may know what my kid needs. I know what my kid needs. I've analyzed the situation. I've talked to this coach, that coach. I visited this school, that school. So I know instinctively. I ain't saying everybody. I'm not saying it's a foolproof, like it can never mess up. But I may know what my kid need, and I need to put him there in order to maximize whatever they got going on.
I just don't know. I just don't know if the parent actually understands, like, you know, what's the difference in coach such and such and coach such and such?
I think they do because they're looking at the record.
No, they looking at the record.
Let's be honest.
Championships.
No, he didn't. Daddy never won a championship.
You won a championship.
When? As a head coach?
Yes.
No, he hasn't.
The COVID year, I got a championship ring. We got a championship. We got a championship. I got a championship ring.
Y'all won 4 games.
No, we went like 7-0.
And we played 5 games. That don't count. I'm talking about a real season. Let's be honest, bro.
And he has championships as an old coordinator. He's a proven he can
got
coach.
a championship as an old coordinator.
He can coach.
How? Look at his record. Let's pull up his record. I pulled up his record, and it's like 3-8, 4-6, 5-5, this and that.
I'm not a defender of Donnie Mays.
I'm not even making the case. Yeah. I'm not even trying to make the case. And as we start to wind it down.
Oh, we got some time.
I do. Okay, well, as long as we got some time, I know you watching it and you want more. I don't have any reasons to say good or bad about Mays. What I will say, okay, is he's about him. He's about him.
Let's look at his record.
He is. He's about him.
Okay. I mean, I can't argue that.
Let's look at it. I can see if they was going to John Carpenter. John went to the semi-states 9 years in a row. More than any other coach ever in the history of high school football. Even Martinsburg Mits, we beat them to go to semis. Capital beat them. Yeah. John Carpenter. I said, okay, I want my kid to play for him. Like, he's a winner. Donnie Mays, look at the record.
But look at the kids in college. He pits kids in college.
Who?
Zaki in college. We had our linebacker a couple years ago.
The kids put themselves.
Kids in Marshall. I'm saying kids who play for him.
So now we talking about.
So he developed. So are we making the case?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just saying. I'm not even defending. I'm not defending. But what I'm saying is, like, I'm saying, if I'm a parent, I'm looking at these things.
He don't put more kids in college than Capital High School. I will bet you that he don't put more kids in Capital High School. Why they not coming to Capital?
I don't know.
Are they getting promised something out there?
What I'm saying is that the parents are looking at something.
But let me just say this though. Let me just say this to that parent. Okay? You don't have to. Your kid's success is not tied to a winning team or a specific coach. It just is not. Because I never won a championship in high school. Never won one in youth football. Never won one in middle school or junior high back in the day. So no, I can make the case that there was no coach. There was no coach that made a difference.
You different though, coach. I keep trying to tell you that.
Can I
okay, so I'm get it. Okay, I'm the exception to the rule. But I can remember when everybody was saying, "Oh, he's too small. He's not this. He's not gonna make it." I can remember that.
But your mind was never there.
But the people that are not like me, if I'm that guy that worked hard and got there, okay, great. If we don't have those kids, then why are you transferring?
But your mind.
Why are we transferring? Because you ain't gonna put in the time anyway.
Can y'all hear this, please?
Please go ahead.
Let's look at Donnie Mae's record. All right, 2021, that's the state championship. Y'all went 8-0. 2022, 5-6. 2020, 4-7. 2019, 3-7. 2018, 4-7. 2016, 7-5. 2015, 8-4. And 2014, 12-3 when they got murdered by Capital in the state championship. Now, let's be honest. And it's not like he didn't have the talent. We talking about dogs. We talking about dogs that went to South Charleston.
See, and I'm not. And let me make it very clear to the
public.
He
went to 2 championships and won one.
He didn't win that. You can't count COVID.
I got a ring.
I'm gonna make a case.
I got a ring too. I ordered me one off.
I got a ring.
I'm gonna make the case.
I got a ring, bro.
I openly admit that my coaching level is elementary to.
Coach, I want to say your record, Coach.
To anybody out there, mine is elementary to that. But I'll make this case though.
Yeah.
To any of those particular like naysayers to it.
Yeah.
I got a call to go to state. State wasn't winning. I went to state because of the young men that were there. And the work that I was going to put in was about those kids.
Yeah.
My opportunity to coach at high school, I got an invitation to do that. My idea was to try to be about the kids, da-da-da-da-da-da. But when I realized that was not going to make the case, that wasn't going to work, I got out of it.
Yeah, you got to win.
Yeah, you got to win.
You got to win.
You got to win. And not only that, you have to deal with the reality of recruitment or transfers leaving. You got to deal with all that. I don't have time to deal with all that. And again, this is something that's even happening in youth football. We had people quit after a first game. We lost by 2 points, won by 2 points, lost by a touchdown, and we had kids quit. Parents quit because their kid didn't play. When do you sub when the game is close? But if you don't do that, then parents get upset.
Yeah.
So it is a parent issue, but I'm making the case that I'm telling you, it is if coaches get to the point of greed, the lessons that these kids need to learn in sports, they're not going to get it.
Yeah, but they're
not going to get it.
But I don't think long term. If you're not a winning program, if you don't develop a program and you don't have a winning culture, the kids are not going to get the lessons from you anyway. So I think you have to win. I think.
Is there a difference? Are there difference in the lessons?
Yes.
When you win and lose,
it is. Winning, losing, you have to number one you have to get over it. You got to learn from process and learn from your mistakes, and you have to implement that so you can execute better. Winning, you have to fine-tune your details so that way you can continue to win and not get an inflated mentality. So there are small differences.
Do we not have already an inflated idea?
Again,
do we not already have it inflated? Because that's the case that I'm making.
But what I'm saying is
I think we are inflated already before we win.
But what I'm saying is that a parent and kids nowadays, They don't want to be in a situation where it's continue to lose. They don't want to be in a situation that they deem, for whatever reason that they deem it, as a bad program. They want to pick their kid in the best situation. Why? Because, like I said, this ain't back in the day where I just rolled out the ball. Mom and dad just sent us to football practice. These parents are investing time, money, and energy. These parents have spent thousands of dollars traveling with trainers and this and that, trying to do all these things to make sure their kids at least have the best. I'll put them in the best opportunities to be the best they can be. And I'm not going to send my kid to a situation in which I deem inferior than the next situation, particularly when I have an opportunity to do it legally now.
All right, we're getting ready to wrap this up. So I'm gonna give everybody just the last little comment.
Here's hopefully all of us alive 10 years from now. I would love to sit down with those kids and young men and young women who didn't go to the school they're supposed to go to and left, and say, would you do that again? And in my opinion, I think they'll say no. I think they'll say, Uncle Woody, man, I got fed the hype. They fed me, some BS, and I should have stuck with our team. We could have really grinded this thing out, and we would have been champions in our hood, in our community, what we did special, instead of, and I'll be honest, going out to making some white teams win, bro. Like, that don't sit well for me. They don't want you out there. And as the lady posted, you black kids from the hood, go back to the hood. They don't want you. Why not win in your neighborhood, in your community, and raise up a trophy on the west side or the east end or downtown Charleston?
Hollis?
I would say that, like I said, I'm going to reiterate, if you are a parent or kid transferring to a school outside of the community, you have to ensure that the reason that you're doing, maybe the conduit, the exterior reason you may be doing it is athletics, but you have to draw on whatever you can to draw out the most that you can from that situation, be it the socialization, be it the academics, being at the connection and the network you'll make out there. So while it may be about athletic, make sure that your kid gets something else up out of it that they would not be available to them in their own community, and make sure that you educate them on the landmines that are before them.
And I will close with this, really kind of simple. If you're a football coach at I don't care what the level is, your job is to make sure that you coach those particular kids. Your job is, and again, I'm talking high school and down. I get that championships are important, but they can't be more important to you than your team. Youth sports, high school sports is community sports. And you must be willing to win and or lose proudly with your team in your community. Because we've preached community for as long as I can remember. And you can say it's old, you can say it's whatever you want, but loyalty is not old. And being tied to a community, living in a community, being part of a community never gets old, because you're always part of that community. And just because you want to do something special for your particular kid and you want to take them out, you are stepping out of that thing. But the fact that you have the opportunity is the problem. The fact that a coach would promote it, that's the problem I have. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got to get off the air right now. Good conversation, guys. I appreciate it. Look forward to speaking to you again. We'll talk again.
The opinions expressed on this program do not necessarily reflect the opinions of WVRC Media, its management, employees, or sponsors. Contact Carl Lee on email, letstalkcarllee@gmail.com, or text 409-422-7539.